Hello, everybody, and welcome back after a super long hiatus. What are we doing? Who are we? What are we doing?
If I remember right, I think this is Into the Macabre, episode 10 now. With
Episode 10? What? No way.
Yeah, I know. It's insane. We could have made like 15 episodes in the time we've been gone, but
sure, we could have.
But we didn't. That's what's going to make this one so special.
Absolutely. But welcome everybody to the show. I am Cerventes, one of your hosts of the evening, and with me as always is
Westphal404.
And this is Into the Macabre, our deep dive into all things paranormal, strange, and unexplained. So what is this show? What is this show, Wes? What is the show?
So it's firstly more in the podcast style of show that you're going to see. So we're going to talk a lot. We're going to pause videos, just talk.
Yeah. Yapping into the macabre.
Yes. But we're going to watch a lot of videos, whether it be paranormal or just unexplained. It doesn't even have to be scary. It could be something funny, silly, whatever. So we dig through, find these videos, watch them, and then we give you guys access to go watch these videos on your own as well.
You're telling me that we make the information about what videos we watch, as well as timestamps, appropriate timestamps, and descriptions in the YouTube video description?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, right?
That's crazy.
Imagine in this day and age.
For the live audience, all you gotta do is ask if you want to rewatch something, and we can just give you the source. And for the YouTube audience, hello, it's all there for you. We're just here to talk about the stuff. Half the time we're debunking the stuff.
Yeah.
It's not even actually scary. Yeah, making fun of it, making light of it, just talking about it. With possible rebrand, yapping into the macabre. But hey, because yapping is a big thing right now.
Yes.
Maybe we just have a temporary yapping over the logo.
Yeah. I love it.
We had to take a couple weeks off. A lot of stuff came up over basically the month of July never happened. Literally, I think the last time we did this was mid-June. But yeah, the month of July never happened. A lot of other stuff happened and went on. But we're back now, back on our bi-weekly schedule as best as we can. Life events, emergencies permitting, and we will always talk about it in advance on the Twitter and on the Discord. There's updates whenever we're not going to be doing one of these. But either way, it's all there. Everything you need is there. Or a talk show / podcast, which, hey, if you want to be in our live audience, where do you have to be?
I believe that's twitch.tv/Cerventes.
And we are under the talk show and podcast category. So for the YouTube audience, you guys are already willingly watching a podcast. For the Twitch audience, you guys are stuck with us.
Yeah.
But if you want to join in, we're doing this live every other Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We don't really interact too much with the audience because we're just focusing more on our conversation in this. But if you want to be part of the overwhelming presence that's helping feed us information and other comments during these shows, you can do that.
Yeah, you could be the person that makes us break, mid-video because of your comment. And then you can point it out to your friends later when you show them the YouTube video.
If you ever want to be that guy. You can. But we've been gone for a few weeks, so like we always do in the shows prior, gonna get back in with starting with some short form content, specifically some TikToks. And first up, from a channel that we have been enjoying a lot of lately, we have Real Horror Talk, and this is some crazy footage from some Ring cameras. Just a quick reminder that, hey, we watch stuff that's not necessarily paranormal all the time, but stuff that is real is potentially dangerous, and just that's the scariest stuff we watch, stuff that's real. So let's find out what's so scary about this.
Just want to let you know that your car light is on.
Hi, you are currently being recorded.
This is why you should always have a doorbell camera. This creepy video comes out of Phoenix, Arizona. And according to the family, this person came up to their door to warn them about their car light being left on, while someone else was lurking in the background. But after they eventually left, she checked her car and there was no light on. So she posted it to warn others in her neighborhood. But this next video is even more terrifying. and it comes from Della D, I'll tag her below. And she was awoken at 4 in the morning by a Ring notification. And this is what happened. Take a look.
At 4:16 a.m. a random
So that first
woman
one,
walks up to
I
my
don't know if you'll
doorway.
pause, is really crazy to just be able to see that other person back there. Like, could you imagine
Absolutely.
opening your door? Like, even if I did actually open my door, like, and saw that other person, that's immediately shut the door back, lock it.
Yeah, I'm glad you're stopping to talk about this part now, because this is basically two videos in one that are where the subject matter is not the same, I would say, and you'll see in a second why I'm saying the subject matter isn't exactly the same. So first off, let's start with this. Have you ever had like a neighbor or just someone come to your house to say, "Hey, is something with your car"?
No.
Back when I lived in
have.
Boston, one of my neighbors did actually come and knock on my door once because I had left my car window down and it was pouring.
Oh no.
But the thing is, when I looked outside, it was a neighbor who, it wasn't someone I frequently interact with like ever, but it was still someone who I've seen in my life. So that happened. But I've talked about that story from like when I was a child and someone came to the door and was like, "Oh, don't get your mom," and that stuff, which when I spoke to my mom, she couldn't remember about that. One censor already. But yeah, it's crazy. Ring doorbells are just huge. I forget, do you have a Ring doorbell or a video doorbell?
No, my friend does. Then I go off and do it.
Is that something you would ever consider getting?
Possibly.
Like my parents have multiple Ring doorbells and cameras up around where they live, but they also live in a much more dangerous place. I live in a not so dangerous place, but again, we talk about it all the time. Anything can happen at any time.
Yeah, I'm more in the way a fan of cameras that don't just show that it's a camera. You know, it's a little more hidden. Like a Ring, it has a camera on it.
Yeah, but a camera, like an existing camera, would also just be something people can usually see and spot, and people who are trying to see or spot those things will. But to go back to that first video, just the idea of someone coming to your house to obviously that's, if there isn't really something going on with your car, obviously, and it's a stranger, obviously that, well, a scam.
Yeah.
In the worst kind of way, because that's potentially someone, like if you open your door, I mean, there's this woman, trying to tell you your car, something going on with your car, but then you see someone in the back kind of standing there. I mean, it looked like they were on a pretty busy street. Did you notice that? There were a lot of cars going by.
Like it could be, even to not take that twist, maybe there was a light on in a car and it wasn't their car. And they were just walking down the street and we're trying to do
give me a quick second. I actually have someone at my door right now. This is unusual, but we'll be right back. That was a milkman delivery service trying to fill up spots. He didn't really try too hard to make a sale.
Did he have the glass bottles and everything?
No, they're just trying to fill up spots on their thing, apparently. Didn't really try too hard to make a sale. So I don't know. That's another thing. That's always suspicious too. If the amount of people going door to door, how many of them are actually legit, or how many of them are trying to scope out your area? That's stuff you always got to think of.
When door to door stuff was big, when there was a ton of serial killers, that's when it was big.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, like I technically lived in an apartment back in Boston, but the amount of door-to-door people around here who are apparently legit, but it's just, and yeah, like Pumpkin's mentioning in chat right now, I never let them in the house. I will always step outside and close the door right behind me. Because the last thing I need is something happening. But I'm not gonna even attempt to answer something like that. Well, I mean, if someone came by at night, I'd probably just poke my head out, but not like actually step out. But it's just, you can't trust anyone these days.
No.
And that video is proof. This video is proof. You really just can't trust people. And granted, again, this it looks like a residential street, but there are
Next video is even
a
more
number of
terrifying,
cars
and it comes
going
from
by
Delegate
as
Tiger
this
Balloon about their
as
car
this is
light being
happening.
left
If you look at
on,
multiple
while
cars
someone
just
else
went
was
by.
lurking in the background.
So that's
She
That's a
checked her car
whole-
and there was no light on, so she posted it to warn
I don't know,
others
man.
in her neighborhood.
Yeah.
But this
You
next
can't-
video
you
is
just can't
even
trust
more
people.
terrifying, and it
but I mean, I feel like at the same time, this person isn't doing a good job of trying to hide.
That's
So
that's
it,
why I
like in
said
your
it was
defense,
like they were just walking and, to play devil's advocate to this video. That's
I mean,
what
it's still-
think, is they could have been walking and then saw something with a car and then went to knock. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, it could exactly be what you said. And it was
Or it could be the other
people
thing.
going by. It could be something malicious. It could be something not so malicious. I mean, this person doesn't seem like that dangerous of a person, and just the way this person seems to be kind of standing, they don't really seem too malicious. But at the same time, I think it's smart to not answer your door,
Yeah.
and to share the information that, hey, this just happened. Keep an eye out, because these are people I don't know in the neighborhood.
We'll say that's like one of the benefit to those is like they have like a group where everyone local shares that stuff for like the ring and stuff like that.
And the other thing is too, this looks like a covered parking area. Like, this
Yeah.
doesn't look like just a random path. This looks like a covered parking area. So if this is a house, would the car not be there? But who knows what the deal is? Like, their car could be further up somewhere. It's
Could be
not.
parked on the street.
Yeah, it's not clear. But either way, if someone came up and said there's something going on with your car, I would, well, A, look out the window, and B, just, not, I'd be like, all right, cool, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, not direct, if I can indirectly interact. So, like, in the case of if I had a window, I could yell at it, cool, thanks, later.
Yeah.
And
Look,
just,
I'm gonna get it.
wait 10 minutes and then do something,
Mm-hmm.
So, that's, you can't trust people these days. And
No.
there's tons of examples of it. There's tons of examples of it being legit. There's tons of examples of it being illegit,
Yeah.
comes from Della D. I'll tag her below. And she was awoken at 4 a.m. by a ring notification.
Now, this one's just
And this
weird.
is what happened. Take a look.
At 4:16 a.m. a random woman walks up to my doorway acting strangely. She starts looking inside my glass door, then does this.
This person's just on something, right?
Yes. Yes. This is probably just somebody's ring from Florida. Is what this is. Definitely creepy though.
Oh, that's so crazy, though.
Like if it's your video that you're seeing, it's definitely creepy.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, that happened at 4 a.m. apparently.
Yeah.
So obviously you're not answering that door, and if that person sticks around, you call the cops. Best hope is they leave. I've actually had a bunch of instances in the past where at my family's homes, people would like try knocking on the door at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and then they would just post up and start sleeping on the porch when they didn't get an answer. That's crazy. That's obviously that's a call the cops moment once you discover them.
Yeah. Those are really good milk salesmen. They're committed to getting those sales. Man.
Oh. Yeah, it's crazy. Don't answer your door for just anybody, and just stay safe. Don't engage with solicitors after dark.
Just use common sense. That's really
Just use common sense.
down to.
If someone's panicking, knocking at your door, don't immediately let them in. I mean, some people would, but it's probably not a good idea. Yeah, alright, well, we're gonna move on to the next video, and we're still with our friends over at Real Horror Talk, and this one's it's more up your alley. We get some more dash cam stuff, but this one's gonna be pretty dang wild, and again, something definitely more up your alley.
On May 30th, 2024, a now viral video was posted to YouTube, and it depicts what looks to be a Bigfoot. estimated to be around
big
11 to 13 feet tall. And so the story goes. A trucker in Alberta, Canada, was picking up equipment
There's
from a
neck of the
rural
woods.
industrial site when his dash cam caught something on camera that at first he didn't see. But you can see him step out of the truck and immediately hightail it out of there. Here's what he caught on camera.
You gotta slow down for this. Look at this mother.
Yeah.
Look at him. That's so good.
That's Grimace. That's 100% Grimace. This is a new promo for the Grimace Shake. It's coming back.
Oh my god, I love it. I love him. Yeah, this looks like just a big figure and decoration.
Yeah, the way the light is like almost reflecting off it looks weird.
A lot of Halloween stores are starting to gear up to open up.
Mm-hmm. Listen,
I got a local one. My local one is gearing up right now.
My local Spirit Halloween is actually open, so I have plans to go.
We didn't go last year, so are we gonna go this year? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if we still have a revenue stream going.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's
that's great. Like, it just looks so weird. Like, not even in a real way. Like,
Now, according to the uploader, they have since set up remote cameras on the site in hopes to catch more footage. But as always, let me know what you think.
I think you're full of it, man. I don't think that's a Bigfoot.
I miss those Grimace Shake videos. Those were great. I need those to come back again.
Yeah, are you a Bigfoot subscriber or?
Well, I mean, that's like widely believed among a lot of different cultures, different areas. So
okay, well, what about your culture in your area?
More of the more easily subscribed to things, I would say, that I probably look at. I'm not saying I'm completely against it. I'm open to it because, Florida has one, and it's called the Swamp Ape. It's basically a Florida Bigfoot. So
yes, the Bigfoot that's exclusive to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I'm as into it as All Gas No Brakes was.
Yeah.
You remember that video? Everybody remembers that video. That's if you haven't seen it, go make sure you open a new tab and look for it, and make sure you come back over here. Yeah, Bigfoot. Maybe he's real, maybe he's not. I don't know. I mean, clearly, we as a society have not, as much as we've combed through the majority of the country and, modernized and brought as much stuff into civilization as possible, there's still plenty of areas and locations that really
are
untouched and just completely strange and obscure.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those areas happens to be, and it's another one of your favorite areas, the Appalachian Mountains. Look at that, we transitioned. Isn't it cool how we're just kind of transitioning place to place right now?
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like I did a good job planning this episode. So we have, another just found footage of someone who claims they're living in the foothills of Appalachia. And do you want to talk a little bit about the Appalachian Mountains?
So it's basically just a hot spot for lore and anything like crazy happening, whether it's like ghosts or demons or witches or creatures. It all happens apparently in the Appalachian Mountains, and everybody in the area believes it, whatever it is. So it's just kind of predisposed to always having some sort of paranormal activity there.
We have watched some footage from people who claim to live in the Appalachians already. And when you try to actually look for clips of people in the Appalachians, you get a couple of different things. And we'll talk a little bit more about that before we get to the next video. Let's see what we got here for some found footage. And before we go on, this comes from the TikTok channel, mad_1701 official.
Okay.
I always get that out.
Always
credit the source. Always credit the source. Yeah, I would hate to see mad1701 unofficial, but
Yeah.
And we already have that generic sound that gets piped into every video we watch, it feels like. There's something on the tracks.
Yep.
I upped the brightness. I mean, it's definitely some. Don't know what, but that was definitely something standing there.
Why were they standing?
Actually, yeah. If you look now, this looks like a dude just standing there with his hands in his pockets.
Yeah. I almost thought it was like a person with something reflective. That's why you could see like the red train light bouncing off of it.
And there's a number of different things it could possibly be.
Backpack or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a number of different things it could possibly be. But either way, like you live in an area where there's a lot of lore, a lot of weird stuff happening all the time. So I mean, obviously, most of these videos are probably fake, but in a few instances where something could be happening, you know, there's a lot of things leaning towards, you know, oh, we believe this is real because of where we live.
Yeah. That power of suggestion really
absolutely
plays a big part of anything that happens there.
Like I was saying, it's tough to find videos of things going on in the like horror-based, paranormal type of things coming from the Appalachian Mountains, because you find two flavors of things. You find like really obvious faked stuff where people are just trying really, really, really hard, or you find, you know, like country hoedowns. And when I stumbled on that video first, a video of train tracks, which made me go on a mini little 2-minute dive into the Appalachians, and the amount of hoedowns I found were pretty tough, or pretty frequent. There was a lot of them, but I did find a compilation video, and when I went through it, it kind of sucked. But then I found another compilation video, and that is what we're going to be checking out now from the channel horror.place.20. Is it horror.place22? Horror.place22. And again, all these links and channels will be in the YouTube video description, as they always are. This is episode 10. We have 10 videos, or 10 show episode worth of content to go back through. Both scary, both serious, both unserious. And as usual, if you guys do have suggestions for us to watch, please submit them to us in the Discord. It's discord.gg. We have discord.gg/serve. We have an Into the Macabre channel. Go in there, share with us your clips. If we think it fits with the show, we'll watch it. We've watched plenty of stuff that has been sent to us by viewers. We have stuff that we
enjoy a lot of them.
Yeah, we've watched stuff from viewers that were very serious. We've watched stuff from viewers that were not so serious, that were more funny. And there's some stuff from some viewers that we haven't put on the show, just because we're struggling to find a place to kind of fit it in. But for the most part, we do review everything that comes in.
Yeah,
and
we watch all of them.
We do watch everything. So we appreciate people wanting to contribute to the show and help out and send stuff that they like to us. But for now, we're gonna go straight to creepy videos from the Appalachian Mountains. In fact, there's a few of these we've seen some bits and pieces of these before, but for the most part, this is just a very fun compilation of some very weird, crazy stuff that does go on in the Appalachian Mountains.
Open the door. Because I opened the door, so I'm not going to do that this time, but it's back.
Open the door. Open the door, please. Yeah, that's piped in.
Yeah.
The first one didn't sound like it was piped in, but the last one sounded piped in.
I like how that's the dog getting scared, just moving.
Yep, there it is. Time to go.
The f is that in the woods? Hello?
Sir, come out of the woods before we send in the dogs. The dogs will come find you.
I don't know. On that last one with the police, I don't know if you could hear it too well. Someone was kind of like mocking back at the cop every time they were yelling at them. So that last one, I would be willing to believe that was real.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, they have a trespasser and they're trying to give them out. The person's probably drugged out of their minds and just kind of being a little silly with the cops. That's it. But
and that's kind of like, you know, it's one of those like really, really country areas from what I've understand. So You see a lot of
where about is the Appalachian Mountains? Would you consider that like Western, Midwest? What would you consider the Appalachian Mountain area to be? Because we're seeing a lot of like you said, more country areas.
Mm-hmm.
And like you also mentioned, power suggestion is very strong, and people will happily believe that there's weird stuff out there no matter what.
Well, I mean, you're going through a lot of that, like West Virginia, Virginia area with the mountain trail. So it's a lot of that, like the super backwoods. I'm trying to think of the movie. There's a movie about like some people in the backwoods. But kind of like that, yeah. But like that type of area, those type of areas where it's just like a lot of hills and woods and valleys and just random houses buried deep in the woods. Yeah, some Deliverance vibes, 100%.
Well, to keep the theme of bizarre and weird things that we get to see all the time, we're back with the Ministry of Latent Places. It's Latent Places on TikTok, and they have some more new weird and strange discoveries. And since we've been gone for a little bit, they have been ramping up on the insanity. So let's just see how damn crazy they've gotten.
Phones logged. A swath of mysterious telecommunication equipment has been discovered in the remote wilderness of Congaree Swamp outside of Columbia, South Carolina. Telephones, payphones, and switchboards litter the swampy landscape with no indication of their origin or purpose. Despite no physical connection to surrounding infrastructure, the equipment appears to be powered on and ready for use. Dial tones emitted from the handsets indicate an established connection to a network of some sort. Despite the apparent functionality, all attempts to connect a call through the equipment were met with harshly distorted moaning noises screaming back through the earpieces of the forsaken phones. Ministry agents testing the equipment each reported being struck with an intense sense of unease and nausea before vomiting profusely into the surrounding bog. Nearby residents are being asked to report any disturbance in their own attempts at telephonic communication. This has been a public service announcement from the Ministry of Latent Places.
Those are always so crazy. I love that.
So
imagine being out there like trying to call. What do I hit the dial out? Like,
yeah, would you even want to use a swamp phone?
No.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
Imagine if it rang while you were out there. Like, we just started ringing.
Yeah, I'm good on that, man. That's I wouldn't want to use that stuff. I mean, it's basically like just thinking of a ring.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff. The hearing moaning and distortion and just being hit with nausea. That's ugh.
Yeah. I was a big fan when he said vomited profusely after talking on the phone. That had me hooked.
Oh, hooked because you're on the hook. All right, we got one more thing that the Ministry of Latent Places wants to tell us about, and that is good old Hotlanta.
Hotlanta. I
love this.
Hotlanta. Widespread damage caused by major volcanic activity is being reported this evening in and around Atlanta, Georgia. At around 4:33 this afternoon, geologists began recording a concerning uptick in seismic readings several miles beneath the city. At 5:05 p.m., Atlanta experienced a 7.8 magnitude earthquake with an epicenter near the I-75 and I-85 downtown connector highway interchange. The earthquake has caused a string of large lava breaches and violent eruptions throughout the densely populated urban center. Injuries are expected to be in the tens of thousands, while the death toll could reach well above 1,000. Civilian scientists speculate that the origin of the events may be related to the nearby Brevard Fault Zone. Ministry researchers, however, have gathered evidence that the subterranean traversal of a massive cylindrical entity may be the more likely source of destruction. This has been a public service announcement from the Ministry of Latent Places.
I like those cars casually driving through the lava.
What would you do? Would you?
It's like they're not flooring it. They're just like like.
Yeah, it's like it's just another day. I mean, Hotlanta is already a concept. I mean, this just feels like a warning.
I love it.
This just feels like a damn warning.
A prophecy. That's what it is.
Oh. I don't know.
It goes too hard.
It's like, okay, but just gonna keep driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Couldn't make it into work today because of the lava. Hashtag Hotlanta.
Oh boy. That is all we have for the short form content for this episode, and we're going to be moving on to our standard longer form content, which is just more compilations from YouTube in the future. Once again, we're hoping to have some more original ideas and concepts, and it's being drafted. I promise it's being drafted. It would have happened today, but there wasn't enough time to A, promote it, and B, just finish it with some other stuff going on. But either way, we now have we did have a Nuke's top 5 video to finish, but we're gonna get to that eventually because we have a new contender throwing their hat into the circle of creepy compilations. And Wes claims that this one in particular, and trust me, bro, is pretty damn good. You want to intro this video a little bit for us?
So obviously we pre-screen everything that we show you guys and we talk about. In my pre-screening of this, I thoroughly enjoy it based on the fact that, there's a lot of videos where we can make fun of, or moments that we can make fun of in this. And the person who does it actually makes fun of it as well. And then as far as content, there's stuff from one end to the other from what I've seen. There's real stuff, there's paranormal stuff, there's, extraterrestrial stuff, exorcisms, all sorts of goodies in here. I'm really excited. I just found it randomly. So hopefully we can find a new favorite for all of us and not just myself, because I will be watching more of these.
So from the channel Goose Pimples, we have the scariest paranormal video so far, V27.
This next video left viewers scratching their heads in confusion, and it did just that to us as we watched this woman have probably the creepiest night of her life. Here's what was caught.
In here, and yes, my fan is on. That's why you see it glowing. But what the hell is that? Why is it wrinkling like that? Like somebody's
penis.
And that looked like a face.
Hey, tomorrow we need
She notices that someone or something is behind the curtain. As the video continues, it starts to look more like hands pressing against the fabric than just the gentle breeze of the night. If you watch closely, you even see it transform into a face. Soon enough,
I don't know if I call that a
gets up
face.
to investigate and finds
I think it resembles a face enough
behind
of a
the
face.
curtain.
Yeah.
So that's third. It's gonna be 50. Holy shit. I mean, obviously that one's easy enough to fake, and they very clearly did a cut when the off-screen voice was calling out to the person. It was very clearly a cut. Either way, like, that is a freaky concept. Another good reminder of clearly they don't have pets in the house.
Just don't anything.
Why do they have a window open without a screen in it?
I don't know. It almost didn't even look like a window when she opened it. It almost looked like it was another room or something, but
transform into a face.
Because it's so dark.
Soon enough, she gets up to investigate and finds nothing behind the curtain.
See? That looks like another room, didn't it?
Yeah, but it's clearly a window because there's a whole curtain installation there.
I don't know. Maybe they didn't want to put a door up, so they just have a curtain. That's what separates the bedroom from the other parts of the house.
Apparently NASA is a tax scam, which I guess I missed that comment because I had my other tab open. But all right, that's.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I think it's an easy video to fake. I think if you have a window open and there's no screen in it, you're inviting all kinds of bad manner of, first off, bugs and other critters, but just scary stuff. Also, how small is that TV that's mounted on the wall?
That is like a 19-inch TV. That's what
what the hell? Like, I can't tell if this is a bedroom or a living room or what the hell's going on, but...
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeesh. Yeah, I don't know, man. Either way, like, it's really very fun video. Really creepy as a concept, because it throws me back to, like, Insidious. I don't know why I was blanking on that, where, like, the face is looking in the baby's bedroom and stuff, and how crazy that was. So it's... Yeah, that stuff's scary. Just the idea that there's a person just watching you, and
just that type of like image reminded me a lot of, you know, like you see that in one of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, at least one, where like Freddy's coming out of something or inside of something, and then that other movie, The Frightener, back in the day, that was a big scene in it where like somebody's pushing through the wallpaper. So it's a really crazy, creepy concept.
Just the idea of someone getting in through this means you thought was safe is scary. But let's move on.
During Woods, also known as the Screaming Woods, is found in Pluckley, Kent. Pluckley has been named the most haunted village in the UK by some. And those woods are no chilled out affair either, which is something Louise from the camper vibe had to learn the hard way. If she had given it a quick Google search before packing up the van and setting off, she would have seen that During Woods is not only known for strange noises or shadow people, it's also home to multiple unexplained deaths and disappearances.
This one about the woods itself is my personal favourite. It goes on to read: the ghost of a local highwayman robber who was captured, lynched and decapitated by angry villagers in the 18th century is said to wander the woodlands. However, the most terrifying stories about this woodland are undoubtedly the modern ones and do not involve ghosts but disturbingly unexplained deaths, murders and disappearances. And I'm going to be staying here, alone, in a tent.
Yeah, make sure you bring the little ukulele with you.
Without all that horrifying knowledge, Louise was ready to set out for a good old-fashioned camping trip. All was going well. Her dinner had been cooked and her pudding was ready to be eaten. But then something made her hair stand on end.
There is a lot of noises in these woods. Where's my spoon? It's getting cold. Oh, get that fire going, I think. Now the rain, I think the rain stopped. Or it stopped enough for a fire anyway. Sounds like kids screaming. That's just a train. Is it a bird or is it kids screaming? That's a bird. That's a gunshot.
Do they have guns?
I like how we just glazed over that too. Like, just that's a bird, that's a gunshot, but that's not.
Do they have guns in England? Our token English person does say it says there are guns in England.
Okay.
Kent.
Not like flintlock rifles or anything like that.
Yeah, it would have been a flintlock rifle. You're right.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean that explains why it was so just very loud.
Also,
the old musket.
Yeah. Also, I feel like this is another video that gives credit to our "Don't go in the woods alone." The woods are creepy.
Oh.
It's a recurring theme.
I mean, so opting to go solo into this woods, into this forest that has this reputation.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just asking for problems at that point. Like, I get it. You're doing it, content clicks, the experience of it, but like, man, why?
For a camping channel, I'm sure this was like a Halloween episode, right?
I don't know if you'll be able to hear a lot of this. It's pretty distant, but it sounds like kids screaming.
She attempted to brush off all the screaming, not knowing if it was a human or animal.
That's just a train. Is it a bird or is it kids screaming? That's a bird. That's a gunshot. I don't know if you'll be able to hear a lot of this. It's pretty distant, but it sounds...
I genuinely don't even think it really sounded like a gunshot.
No,
that could have been like
really.
A train. It could have been.
Yeah, like she just heard the train. So the train could have been.
Yeah, like there's so many other things it could have been that. I'm starting to wonder if this woman has ever actually heard a gunshot before. I mean, you live in Florida. You get gunshots. You don't have a rooster.
I'm kind of like
you have gunshots in the morning.
outset away from the city kind of too. So we hear that a lot.
Sounds like kids screaming.
But I didn't hear screaming either. I thought I heard a bird.
I would have believed it was screaming. There was definitely birds at parts, but I would be more willing to believe children screaming over a gunshot.
Yeah.
Going and got into a hammock, all hell broke loose.
Honestly, I've never known a woods with so many strange noises. It's not just your normal birds and stuff and planes. There's a lot of planes. There's like this weird... Oh, I don't really know how to describe it, but I'm tired, so I'm going to let this burn out in a bit, sit here and enjoy a fire for a little while, and then, yeah, head to bed. The hammock's really comfy, thank God, so I should sleep well, I would think. Where's my big bean? What was that noise?
Bird. See if it's trains. That's a plane.
Yeah.
That could be footsteps, absolutely.
Yeah, it could be an animal, 100%.
What the f was that? I don't want to turn the light on because I'm pretty convinced there's been a person or persons. What the f?
I don't want to turn the light on because if I can't see them, they can't see me.
Right now.
We're no experts on sounds you hear whilst camping, but that sounded like definite footsteps to us. And all the haunted backstory aside,
it was.
This is petrifying because of who Louise is. She and her partner have been camping out in woodlands for years, and she's...
She and her partner. I didn't know that wasn't a partner just walking around doing who knows what. And also, I want more information on what a hammock is classified as over there, because they're making it sound like this is a covered tent.
Maybe it's one of those like covered hammocks.
Yeah, it's like an entire hammock enclosure. It's like when I think of a hammock, I just think of, you know, big tarp or something, piece of material being hung between two posts, whether the posts are actual trees or beams you put you stake into the ground. That's my idea of a hammock, not a big enclosure, but this is making it sound like it's a big enclosure, which that makes more sense because typically you would want an enclosure when camping. You don't want to just have a sleeping bag out exposed to the elements, because the elements, especially in a place with a reputation like this, the elements can be very bad.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen some sort of advertisement or seen them in a store where it's like hammocks that you can like hang on the trees, so when you're camping and it's covered, when you're camping you're not on the ground, so like if there's animals or anything.
So just a big hammock enclosure.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which makes a lot more sense to have if you're not going to have a tent and you're not going to be exposed to it, especially in a place like this. You don't want to be exposed. But the fact that they're specifically referencing that there is another person typically involved in the channel, I 1000% believe that's what's being used here.
But he just happened to not go on this one when she went to the haunted forest, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And she went in the big van by herself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm
very accustomed to all sorts of sounds, so the fact this freaked her out so much is very telling. It seems pretty likely that this was humans rather than some kind of ghost.
They probably saw her ukulele and got scared.
Especially considering she is a solo female camper. But regardless of how petrifying...
You just said she normally has a partner. Which one is it? Which one is it? Am I wrong?
No.
This is why this shit pisses me off sometimes, because it's like, You gotta pick a side of a fence to be on. You can't be hip-hopping between both sides of a fence here, guy. I don't know, man.
I think it's just because there's not enough information, so we're just filling in. But
also, for someone whose YouTube is called Goose Pimples, why is it a lion with a nosebleed?
Is that what you see?
What do you see?
A goose with red eyes and an open mouth with blood coming out of it. Goose head.
Oh my god, yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
I thought it was would be ears.
Yeah.
The lion is just like its eyes are closed because of like wincing with pain with a bad nosebleed.
Oh, okay.
I can see the tongue. I mean, I do see a tongue.
Yeah. I was trying to squint to see your lion.
Do geese have tongues? They do, right? Yeah.
Sure.
Untitled Goose Game that squawks and a tongue sticks out. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Then that proves it.
Yeah. Untitled Goose Game is on top of it. Scientific proof.
Her first night was. She stayed for a second for some reason. Do you guys think she came into close contact with the supposed spirits that linger in the Screaming Woods? Or was it a close encounter with something much, much worse?
Yeah, her partner.
Attending funerals can be a time to reflect on life and perhaps connect with distant cousins and other family members. But when the deceased decides to crash the party, you bet people would run faster than their family ties can pull them together. Take a look at the chaotic concoction that left many in utter disbelief.
Yeah, wait, what?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why?
During a remembrance ceremony for the dead in this church, a deceased nun was caught on camera in the...
You can see the mask.
How do you distinguish that's a nun?
How do you? So like literally, you can see it right here. That like this is where the rubber ends, and then the rest of her outfit begins.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what's Jeremy doing over there? Oh, he's got his bloody mask on. Yeah, bloody. Come on, man.
The kid was trying to go out with the mask on. His mom's like, no, you can't wear that to the funeral. You can't wear that at the remembrance ceremony.
I'm getting to cheese it up, but come on, man.
Proceedings. Although no one noticed at the time, attention was drawn to a strange figure
because they'd already seen it
while replaying the ceremony footage. Upon closer inspection, some suggest it appears to be a nun buried in the nearby grave. Was it truly the spirit of the departed, making a spectral appearance to pay her respects? Or was it an over-enthusiastic follower dressed up as her spiritual idol to partake in the ceremony?
What do you mean dressed up? Like, there's no identifying features on that, or like any kind of clothing to dress up as someone. Like, unless they're trying to be like Deadpool. You know, because that's the only thing that kind of resembles.
Like, where's he getting all these assumptions from? Like, old people Facebook?
Yes, I like it though.
Like Ethel and Bethel, the only ones going like, "Oh, it's a nun!" Like, come on, man.
If you don't tag the first 5 people after you hit @ this evil nun will visit you.
All right, we're moving on. Come on, man.
It's a bit mental, so stick with us. You've heard of ghosts who haunt houses, ghosts who possess bodies of the living, and even ghosts who still try slogging away in offices. But have you ever heard of a ghost
that is the last thing I'm doing as a ghost
on the BMX?
Oh, hell yeah, brother!
Dave Mirra style.
I'm thinking that somebody just pushed the bike with a hell of a lot of gusto. But how much power would you have to put behind that to get a bike to ride itself that fast for that long? Surely it would topple or waver at least a bit. The pedals aren't moving, so there's nobody pedaling. So what invisible BMX maestro is
That's how that works.
Also, why were they recording anyway? The bike's already traveling.
Yeah, why were they recording? Is this the next Dude Perfect video? Because I feel like this is the setup for a Dude Perfect video. You know what I'm talking about, like Dude Perfect videos, right?
Yeah. we didn't get to see it, but off camera, there was a giant ramp, and that bike was about to hit the sweetest jump you've ever seen.
Literally, this has literally been set up for like the videos you would see back on like Facebook and early Twitter of like the people doing like crazy trick shots, like literally the Dude Perfect videos.
Yep.
Everybody remembers Dude Perfect, and if you're too young to remember, get the out of here. God, I've had to drop like 5 sensors this episode already. Gotta
make up for the episodes we missed.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I've done one. There's at least one full video where I didn't mess up. Only one though. Either way, like, yeah, I love how very even like, why were they even recording?
Yeah.
Like, I wonder why.
At the speed of bloody sound. So where would they get the initiative to whip out their phone and record it before it had zoomed straight by? Whatever happened here, it's interesting to say the least.
Oh, I like that.
That was good. At least they're also dogging on it.
So yeah, but that's funny. Like that's the stuff that we see regularly, and it's like, ooh, it's paranormal.
Yeah, I think I already know where the what's gonna be the next promo clip.
Perfect. Zooming at the speed of bloody sound. All right.
Hello, sir. You've seen better days.
Sure has.
Don't even try to tell me this is real. Oh, you're
This
gonna try to tell me this
exorcism,
is real?
similar to the Conjuring film series, was so famous, Ed and Lorraine shoved it into another book, this time called Satan's Harvest.
4.06 out of 103 ratings.
Yeah.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
As someone that understands rating metrics, that's a really solid metric.
Horrifying story of Maurice Theriot, a farmer who experienced worsening abuse from his father throughout his childhood. According to family members, he unknowingly asked Satan for help, which is what would cause such terrifying events to unfold in the years to come.
So, before you go any farther, how do you unknowingly ask Satan for help?
I get the concept, because it's literally like, will someone please help? Will anybody please help?
Anybody? Yeah.
You're inviting the devil because the Jesus is too busy. I don't know, man. It's like when you're doing the, because this is literally the church logic. The church logic is literally just, when you're doing stuff like that, you should be asking God, please help me. But God's not answering, so it's, will someone please help me? And the only one who's ever available is Satan. I don't know, man. I didn't make the rules, but this is the logic.
All I'm getting from that is that Satan is a really great listener.
He's the only one that's ever available.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, when Kratos really needed help, he asked Ares for help specifically, and Ares did help him out. He helped.
Yeah.
And then Ares disappeared forever. Wild.
This is the exorcism part right here. You'll see the spittle come out of his mouth.
Just drooling.
The most interesting thing about this footage is the visual element. There aren't many exorcism videos that can show you the person's skin physically reacting to prayer. It bubbles up, and cracks appear at his temple.
Real quick, have you ever actually watched a legit exorcism? Like, not that my legit exorcism, because I don't even prescribe to exorcisms in general, but like one that's not presented for movies. So I guess in this case, this is an actual Warren presented exorcism. Because I know that they did present these.
Yeah, there are some, but like some of them are like hard to find if they're actual real ones, you know? Because I think it's one of those things like the church doesn't like that.
Well, they don't want to popularize it.
Yeah.
And they don't want to show it quote unquote working or quote unquote not working.
So then, like, you know, with the amount of them that you see is so much lower, it's hard to believe that any of them are real because the majority of them are fake.
Right. Yeah, I've never watched any of them. I know, and again, I know the Warrens have done a lot of conferences and presentations where they actually show these and talk about them, and that's what we're looking at right now, because we just heard Ed Warren actually saying, like, pointing things out. This is clearly from a presentation. But I don't know.
Really crazy.
I mean, I would still subscribe to it being fake, especially like because like I wouldn't necessarily call the Warrens carnies. Because they're very smart people. They are extremely smart people, and I'm sure in the ways of both the legitimacies of this whole thing and the illegitimacies of this whole thing. I don't know. I guess I would have to be in the room, but would you want to be in that room?
There's multiple exorcism videos on this compilation, but they're really weird things because there's an element of religion in them, you know, which makes a lot of people want to just believe in them blindly. But then, you know, you think about all the things that we still don't know about how the human body works or the brain, you know, all these unheard of medical conditions that we're still discovering new ones to this day. So it's hard to say that some of these aren't just medical problems that people have, whether they're mental or physical, or they're just acting.
And they're trying to imply that this person's skin is starting to like get messed up as they do the exorcism. But he has no other physical reactions to this. Like, he's not restrained in any way. So
no. I don't know if maybe that's why the other people were there, like, because they're standing kind of close to him if they're there to restrain him or take care of him if he needs it. Like, you saw the guy like wiping his neck off or
he's
whatever.
Got that big bald spot as well, but that again, that I don't subscribe to even that being, you know, proof. Like, look at his head, look how messed up his hair is, look at his skin. It's like, okay, makeup has existed forever.
Yeah.
So and the Warrens are also smart business people. They've proven themselves to be very smart business people. I don't know. It's a 1,000,000,000% up for debate.
Either way, they're always very interesting. Like, I think even like some of my favorite horror movies are like exorcism based horror movies.
His eyes mimic that of a serpent.
That, I mean, the human body just doesn't
Nobody
work
has
like that.
ever really been able to explain this footage. The only backstory we know about the Ferrault family is that Maurice himself was extremely abusive towards his wife Nancy and her daughters. She spoke about the threats he used to pose to her and their children, believing they were the product of an evil entity that possessed him throughout his life. After the exorcism took place, he became a completely different person. He was carefree and kind, but that didn't last long. He began to go back to his old ways. Nancy told Ed Warren, but it was too late because before they could do anything for him, Maurice Ferrault took a shotgun, shot his wife in the arm, dragged her to the living room, and made her watch as he put an end to his own existence. She recalls the event in a very odd way. saying it looked as if he were fighting with an invisible force to get the gun in his mouth. What we could only imagine to be a terrifying sight. But could this be an abusive man, traumatized by his childhood and suffering from breakdowns that eventually led to a violent end? Or a man plagued by a malevolent presence?
And there we go.
It's
both sides of it. Is it somebody?
It's very
who is
it's very serious subject matter, so it's hard to really make cases against it because they want to lean on the seriousness of the subject matter to it being completely true in its presentation. But
like if he was just like a regular Joe with, nothing crazy going on in his life, but just was somehow possessed, then it's not as believable as somebody who's got this backstory that you can kind of, connect to emotionally.
I mean, if it's a person that ultimately ended their own life, then it's possible that they were struggling with that decision up till the very end, which is why them saying, they were struggling with an invisible force the whole time. It's like, were they just like still fighting with their own urges as to whether or not they wanted to go through with it? And Matt, I would be willing to believe she was shot. Because but the thing is, he hit a shotgun. Did he blow her arm off? I don't know. That's something you would need to do more research into, which I don't think we need to do more research into that particular one. But that's the only way to really truly discover. Like, you'd have to do more research into it.
And then who's to say that, after she was shot, she wasn't in shock. So who knows what she thought she saw.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And they already believe that he was a changed man at one point, thanks to them doing this at once. So I don't know.
Yeah, crazy. That's like, that argument's always going to be there. I don't think we're going to, unless somebody can some way definitively prove one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, religion on its own is a powerful tool. And like we keep saying, power of suggestion. The entirety of religion is built on the power of suggestion. More than anything else. And depending on, you can like be a religious person but not subscribe to a lot of miracles and stuff like that happening, or omnipotent presences and things like that. And you can also just be completely off a deep end and think
you could see Jesus on your toast.
Yeah, absolutely. There's two sides to every coin and seriousness of it. So if those people, depending on, like, if they came from farmland, I think they were saying. Which of
That's
course,
what it sounded like. He said he was a farmer.
Yeah, so it's, what, sky's the limit on how deep and far it goes. So they already clearly believed in it once, so that clearly sticks. Now we'll move on to
crazy story though.
Yeah, absolutely crazy story. Like. And it could easily be like, even power suggestion. He started to harp back to this, even though I just said we were going to move on. But quickly harp back. Like, you could easily believe the exorcism worked and convince yourself that it worked to the point where you're acting completely different. Because again, power suggestion. You experienced this crazy thing, and it worked. They're telling you it worked, so now you're just going off a mindset it worked, and then over time, you're just kind of going back more to your natural habits. So I don't know. There's a billion different ways you can describe it and explain it. We don't know enough about the actual subject matter. I'm sure there's a lot of this. I'm sure if we actually looked into it, there's probably 1,000 points to each side.
Oh, yeah.
So
Easily.
I'm not even gonna hop in that rabbit hole. But if people want to hop down that rabbit hole, by all means, go crazy.
Yeah. I just say there's no reason you can't believe one way or the other on it. Like, it's up there.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've all seen those Instagram or TikTok videos where influencers shove their phone on the plane window and record a flight POV. Usually, you'd watch them passively and enjoy the relaxing clip. But when this one was uploaded, people couldn't help but jump out of their seats. Take a look and you'll see why.
alien.
If this is real, then this is the most damning evidence of UFOs we have ever seen.
It's
It is
gotta be
clearly
real.
in the shape of a traditional alien spacecraft, but the one problem we have
Wait,
is that we don't know where the video came from.
If
Was that a
was that?
logo?
I think I know what I think I know what that said.
Evidence of UFOs we have ever seen. It is clearly in the shape.
That's 100% from it too.
Hey, Trump.
That's what I thought it said. It's a Trump UFO. Oh, I didn't even see that. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so you think it's real?
I love it. It says Trump on it.
Freaking way.
Traditional alien space.
It does. That's a T and an R.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my God.
that's what I saw, and I thought it said that, but I was like, no, we'll wait. We'll go back and see.
Spacecraft. But the one problem we have is that we don't know where the video came from. So there is no way to confirm or deny anything happening here. It could be edited, but it could also be real footage. But if it was, wouldn't we have heard about it on the news or something? What do you think? If you know the origins of this video, please let
How
us
you
know.
get the conspiracy theorists though?
I don't what care what the origins of that video is. It's clearly just like a Trump
It's
thing.
great though.
That's so silly. I'm glad we noticed that.
Yeah.
All right, and we don't even have to defend this one.
No.
I guess that's just silly. Again, I don't believe we're the only life in the universe, but you know, for all we know, we're the most advanced life in the universe, and we're never gonna see other life, or maybe we will one day. Who knows?
I could see the video being like presented to Trump and him being like, you know, when I was president, we used to have aliens. We don't now, but we used to when I was president. I'll bring them back.
Oh, it's just so damn silly. I genuinely, I'm glad we saw that.
Yeah.
Debunked immediately. All right, next.
While kicking back at home after a long day,
kicking
the
back at
guy in the
home.
video you're about to watch hears noises in his kitchen and decides to check it out. He thought he was being pranked by his mischievous friends, so he went to investigate while recording to capture that gotcha moment, only to be left dumbfounded at the sight before him. Take a look.
Hey guys, I've been hearing this really weird knocking.
Hey guys, it's YouTube intro. Hey guys.
For like the last.
I like how we actually gave a reason as to why we were recording though.
Yeah, I mean,
He thought it was his friends that was playing a joke on him.
But at the same time, he's talking so loud that if it were people in the next room, I don't know, man. Like it's one of those things though, where like if you think you're being home invaded, make noise and definitely announce yourself, because the chances are more likely that you're going to scare them off, unless they're actually there with deeply malicious intent. Then I guess you're screwed. But hey, you know what? Making noise is better than not. But let's.
What the hell?
Oh, this.
No way.
The reactions is too inauthentic, in my opinion. Mike Wazowski.
That's who did it.
Excitement.
What the hell? What the hell, man? Oh my god. Yeah, it's so inauthentic. I can't.
In his voice. He has friends or neighbors who can pull off the ridiculous, but he was shocked to his bones when he found nobody in the kitchen.
To his bone,
only a
not to his
cabinet
core.
that seemed to have.
Shocked to his core. I'm shocked to his bone. Just what the hell, bro? What the hell?
Have a mind of its own. He immediately investigates the area pretty closely, as if he has nothing to hide. Could this be caused by poltergeist activity, or just a cheap trick? Our guess: the one-eyed mug did it.
Mike Wazowski.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
And they said he's not a good scarer. Bro, there he goes.
Yeah.
He got the classic shaken to the bones. What the hell? And just for the intro, hey guys, my friends are pranking me right now, so I'm gonna go investigate.
Oh, I love it.
Man. Alright.
Responding to some bug disturbance in her backyard, this woman found something that made her wish.
I genuinely hate this video.
We couldn't get a close
we
run
caught this in an older
another video that made our imaginations.
We could basically.
I don't even remember what episode that was.
I don't remember. It was either 8 or 9.
Yeah.
There was a fairy, and it's the worst, fakest thing we've ever seen.
It's a fishing lure.
Yeah, it's very clearly a fishing lure, and you can just see and tell how much that it's a fishing lure. But all right, there's a second half to this.
Run wild.
Insectologist.
It's a bit wet now.
Oh, it's a bit wet.
Oi. Oh wow.
When is this recorded?
Doesn't this remind you of some sort of movie scene?
Yeah.
Like it 100% looks like a movie scene.
What's what? Yeah, look. Right up there. Insect or something.
Is that an insect? Let's have a look.
I don't know, man. You're recording it on like your motor. Oh. All right.
Wasn't that way more believable than the fishing lure?
In the beginning,
yeah,
the
it
was. Some kids showed
At least
their
that one was
father
more
around their
entertaining.
friend's garden until they came to an apple tree and spotted the most bizarre insect.
Like the way it moves is so fake, and I love it. It's like the Wendigo that fell off onto the bike trail.
Oh my god, they put in way more effort than the people with the fishing lure. 100%, this is way more effort put in than something else. But god damn, just it's trying way too hard. Oh, it's silly. That's very silly.
It's so good.
The Mother Earth was that.
We need more
At
fake
first
fairy
look,
videos.
It looked like a dragonfly, but when it took to the sky, it appeared to have a humanoid shape. Are these proof that fairies exist among us? Or are they insects that entomologists have yet to discover? We'll leave it to you to figure out.
Definitely an insect.
You have the kids in on it with them though.
Yeah. I bet that's from like a
20-year-old Motorola.
I bet that's like an indie movie clip or something.
Yeah, because you're saying it looks like a movie clip.
It 100% gives off that vibe.
It definitely does, but just the quality was complete garbo. What the hell?
You've probably seen stuff move out of the corner of your eye, but
you all the time, man.
It off as nothing. You weren't even focused on it anyway, so who's to say anything even happened, right? That's what this girl thought until she realized the thing she tried to deny to herself was caught on camera. If you missed it, don't worry. It's pretty hard to spot. So.
Oh, it's if you missed it, not did you see it? God damn it.
So let's slow it down and zoom in. The tuber cream just twists around completely on its own. This is a tiny amount of activity, but that makes it even more believable. If someone were to fake a paranormal video, you would think it would be something big and shocking, not some tiny little movements, right? What do you think? Could this be the proof we've been looking for? Let us know your thoughts.
Oh, just an inch.
100%. It's 100% the proof we were looking for. I don't think we need to watch anything else after that. We've proven everything now.
It's just sometimes we're just reaching a little too far. Like, I don't know. People are just like uploading silly little clips to the internet. They don't even necessarily always need recognition. You know, they just want to put something silly out there just to freak people out. And in this case, hey man, it's working.
And I feel like the argument
over it.
I feel like the argument that just because it was a little thing makes it more believable is probably the dumbest argument ever.
That argument would definitely work on somebody.
Yeah.
That argument's 100% going to work on somebody. Because someone's going to be like, Oh yeah, that's. Oh, he's making such a.
Yeah,
that's such a good point.
Why would they fake
why would they,
smaller?
bro? Why would they fake something like that? If you're gonna fake something, fake like killing somebody, man. And they just moved this little bottle. Clearly, Joey the Ghost is out here. Go home.
Get ready to have your reality flipped upside down. The footage
I'm ready,
you're about
brother.
to watch has left even the most skeptical minds scratching their heads for answers. It's borderline.
I scratch my heads for different reasons.
Take a look. As Hayanahe from The Boys dazzled the crowd with his performance, eagle-eyed fans couldn't help but notice a mysterious hand resting on his shoulders, only to vanish into thin air moments later, with none of his members anywhere near him at the time. Whose hand was that? Was it a glitch in the Matrix? A sneaky muggle who stole the invisibility cloak from Hogwarts?
He's the same as because he's British.
Invisibility cloak.
The obvious answer is that he was exposed to radiation, and that's his third arm.
Star. We'll let you be the judge of this one.
I mean, do we even try to explain on that one? Like, I think it just based on the lighting, how the guy was standing and all that. Like, it was clearly someone just behind him, either just to mess with the crowd or what have you.
Or it's somebody that was standing right next to him or something that was edited out.
Yeah, it's like the whole concept of, no, trust me, bro, there was nobody there.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a ghost. Trust me, bro. Bro, trust me? Please? Like,
what the hell?
It's such a reach. I don't want to subscribe to that as definitive proof that something exists. I don't know, man.
There's nothing quite like getting the boys over, cracking open a few cans and hanging out. And these guys were feeling those good vibes when they decided to get the guitar out and start jamming. But they didn't think they had an audience.
This guy's point on the microphone quality difference between the two narrators is astonishing.
Yeah. It is.
I hate it.
Until they watched the footage back.
Oh. Alright, we're gonna see. It's gonna be our favorite thing. We're gonna rotate around the room. Camera's gonna focus on the thing they supposedly don't see. And then oh, hey, what's up, bro?
Yeah.
Oh, it's gone!
Oh!
Whatever was pressed against that window, it was either asking for an encore or warning them to keep it down. It looks pallid and tall, which are two things we normally associate with paranormal beings. But there are some reservations to be had when you look at how the guy controlled the camera. He panned to the window, and there was nothing there.
She's actually...
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
She's actually pointing out the thing we normally point out. Mm-hmm. What the hell? Oh my god. Yeah, of course you're gonna phase it. We want you to think that there's something there. So it's like, hey, yo, Joey, go put your dick up against the window and see. We're gonna pretend we don't see it. Oh yeah, trust me, bro. We didn't know something was there until we watched back our video.
And lo and behold, something appeared at the window the second he panned it back. It's a classic
we panned
technique
away
if you want
again and went
someone to run
back.
on screen and run off again. And with no real backstory, we don't know if there wasn't another friend at the hangout who did this. But how did they manage to make themselves so uncanny valley levels of terrifying? What do you think happened here?
It's so crazy to hear the things that we say every single episode repeated back to us.
And then just, what do you think happened here? Oh no, you hit the nail on the head.
Yep.
You hit the nail right on the head, ma'am. All right, moving on. But yeah,
that was a rhetorical question.
It's the laziest. It's the laziest trick that we see almost every episode of just, you know, camera focus. I mean, at least they didn't focus too hard on it, so it was it was the lesser of the many evils that is this trick. because it was consistent panning back and forth. It's just, you know, the convenience of how it's done.
Evolved to do, because we didn't see that in the first few that we were watching. It was just like, oh, look here, randomly, oh, a monster or a ghost. Now that's like our evolution that we've seen. They start to move the camera a lot more, so it looks like it's not on purpose when they accidentally move it over into the frame.
Because typically, like, they're moving the camera around, then they pan straight to the thing that they quote unquote didn't see. They leave it there for a second or two, and then they pan the rest. And it's like, man, it's crazy sometimes. But hey, you know what? I will happily accept this over that version of it.
Yeah.
Imagine taking a lovely morning stroll past your local church, expecting to taste a dew in the air and feel the breeze gently pass you by, but all you can hear are the agonized screams of hellish happenings within the church's walls. That's exactly what happens.
I'm just gonna say, if any of you watch this video and have the subtitles on, during that last part where he was talking about dew, that's not what the subtitles say.
I know he was he was saying do, because of the accent. It sounded like he was saying Jew.
Yeah, people are not walking around looking for a taste of that. It's taste of dew in the air.
Yeah, I know. It
caught me off guard because I had it on when I was watching.
The subtitles on. And,
yeah.
We live in a silly day and age.
Yeah. I had to rewind because I was like, surely that's not what he said.
To the people of Buenos Aires, where a woman
that's how you know stuff's getting real.
Laura was supposedly being liberated from Satan by Bishop Manuel Acuna.
Is that the exorcism mat? Someone's taking pictures.
Yeah.
See the camera flashes?
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure, like, the church documents these for their own record.
I feel like the flashes don't help with exorcising Satan. Also, I love it. It's just
It's like flash banging Satan. It's okay.
Yeah, it's a big mat with a big cross in the middle.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, was that also consecrated? Like, I hope it was consecrated as well.
Oh no, we need to do this exorcism now. Hurry up. Grab the mats from the playroom.
Bless the mats.
Yes. Bless the play mat.
Is this slapping her?
That's what that looked like?
And there's some parts where it looks like she's kind of laughing as she's writhing and stuff. Even right here, she's like kind of coming out of a smile.
Yeah,
I mean, I get the idea is also like, you know, the demon mocking them, but at the same time,
it goes back to like we talked about, like who knows if it's not, you know, like a mental illness or something.
Right. I can't tell if a priest is laughing or not, or he's just kind of winded.
Probably winded. They were all fighting with her.
According to news outlets, the woman had been taken into a church chamber after people had gathered to pray for her soul outside the Lutheran Charismatic Church. We can tell something is plaguing this woman. Much like all the other videos here, It could be mental illness taking its toll, or there could be an actual demon overtaking her body and mind. Her screams don't sound inhuman, but they do sound pained. She seemed very relieved at the end of the video. She collapsed backwards and wiped away tears.
These videos are so intense for exorcisms. It's crazy.
They just used the same paper towel they were using to like catch her spit, and then they just wiped her forehead with it.
You don't do that to like clean off your face, spit in your hand, and then.
Like, okay, so like, I feel like there's a really big different tone between this exorcism and one we saw before. The proof was, they both have the drooling in common, but the one before, like, his skin had stuff happening, and on this one, it's the writhing and the yelling, which we didn't have in that first one.
So I said they're very intense.
Yeah, it's being pointed out that the Vatican does keep records of exorcism, so like photo and video makes sense. But what if people are epileptic?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, hey, you don't take that into account when Satan's involved, you know?
Yeah. I mean, do you want to do a poll on all the people who have been participated in exorcisms and see how many of them were epileptic?
Her head and essentially confirms the exorcism is a success. Hopefully, whatever was causing this woman to lash out was liberated for the long haul.
There are so many urban legends about strange humanoid figures, from the rake to all manner of skinwalkers. It's enough to petrify anyone into triple checking all their locks at night. But that isn't enough to keep yourself safe if you're anything like this guy, and your idea of fun is exploring the back rooms.
Oh, the back rooms.
If you missed it, don't worry. It's pretty hard to
see it?
So let's slow it down and zoom in. There aren't really any defining features we can see in the split second the figure shows itself. We can't blame the guy, because if we thought some half-human, half-paranormal punch in the face was afterwards, we would be running for our lives too. But the problem here is that
looks like a deer or some sort of like...
We can make out arms and some sort of torso.
Wildcat, maybe?
Yeah,
that's what I was
something
thinking.
There. It could be a homeless person. It could be any number of different things because of how unclear. I mean, homeboy here probably had a better view of what it was, and him, turning and running the other way is probably the smartest thing you can do. Last thing you want to do is go into this weird enclosed area with someone who might just be trying to fight for their lives.
But for all we know, it could have been a homeless person, some kids hanging out, or even an animal. Or does this video prove the age-old legend of the troll under the bridge? Maybe it does. What do you think? Paranormal or something else? Let us know.
Oh, any use of The Simpsons will always make a chuckle out of me.
Yep.
Oh,
that's the second time I've seen it. I still laugh.
I don't subscribe to it being like a creature. Like, it could be an animal, it could be a person, and like, there's no reason to go exploring under a bridge. There's nothing good happens there.
Nope.
You're a normal, sane person. I don't know,
at least they left. Like, they saw something and then left, or maybe they saw something and were trying to video to see what it was.
It just seems like both people saw each other and just 180'd.
Yep.
But hey, that's a smart thing, because you never know what someone's gonna do. Like, if you pursue someone who's trying to flee, then they could go into fight or flight mode, and I don't want to deal with that. So I don't know. I don't subscribe to it being a monster.
No, definitely not.
Just another example of something being very real, and you never want to mess with something that's too real.
Hiding under a bridge.
Yeah, hiding under a bridge. There's a reason something's hiding under a bridge. And you don't want to find out unless your name is the police.
Yeah.
You know, they can figure that one out.
This unidentified object was seen by numerous people in multiple different places, and there is still yet to be a solid explanation as to what it is.
Is it going to be another Trump lump?
No.
Sí, es. Un avión, güey.
¡Sara! ¡No, es un ovni! ¡Ven a verlo!
Está haciendo ruido, güey. Ahí. Un avión, coño. ¿Ves? Sí, es de lucecito. No mames, no es avión, ¿cómo va a ser avión de tamaño, hijo de puta? No mames. Sí, está altísimo, coño. No, güey, no es avión, es avión. No chingues. El avión no tiene luz hacia los lados, coño. Es por la, ¿cómo se llama? Debería estar prendiendo azul y blanco, debería estar prendiendo rojo, coño. Sí tiene color rojo, coño. Sí tiene, güey.
You can see it like moving clouds, whatever it is.
This video is taken in an unknown place, but they're speaking Spanish and the caption is in Portuguese, translating to, they are like rats, slithering on the walls of the aquarium.
Alright, so it's fake.
Yeah.
That's pointing out it looks superimposed. I was going to say, like, it could be a drone, it could be any number of different things.
Or like a blimp.
I would be also willing to subscribe to the it's fake mentality. And just that description just sounds like, you know, marketing at doing marketing.
Yeah, and they even have another video of it after this one from somebody else, I guess.
Which is so helpful. But the trail doesn't go cold there, because a YouTube video was uploaded just over a month later showing the same object floating through the sky in Brochure, France.
Okay, are we implying that French phones are worse quality than Brazilian phones? Like, you can't say it's the same object.
No. I feel like that doesn't look the same.
I mean, it could be similar, because it's like...
It's a Messiah.
Religion.
Yeah.
C'est un vaisseau. Regarde sur le côté, il y a un truc en métallique. Regarde.
Yeah, literally the only people who are recording anything like this all just have Nokia phones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be willing to believe drone or something like that.
The post tells us that this video was recorded in 2022, so we don't know if the two videos are correlated.
2022, and this is the best quality you got.
As we're pretty sure it was re-uploaded. Some people seem convinced it is a real UFO, as there aren't any planes or jets in that shape. And drones and kites don't tend to glow bright white in the sky. There's a chance it could be something like
you don't know that,
that,
man. How do you? What about the drone shows?
And after looking at
that's nothing but lights
from a
the
rocket.
shapes they create due to the reflections and the chemicals from the exhaust do look somewhat similar to this. Do you think this is aliens doing a grand tour, or something a little more explainable?
I'm not going to subscribe to. This is
that would definitely like if I saw that though, I would be like, what the hell? You know, like that guy earlier. What the hell? No, yeah, it's definitely weird if you saw that when you just looked up, but
I think that's just silly.
Yeah.
Imagine getting ready to go to work, only for you to find yourself in the middle of a real-life Harry Potter scene. It happened.
The second Harry Potter reference.
Check out what this man encountered on his way out.
I've seen some really creepy stuff, but nothing like this. There's a palm floating right in the middle of the air. It's not attached to wires or anything like that. Wow. Only in Fresno.
Right before his eyes, this dude spots a palm branch floating in mid.
Glad he put a little arrow. So
Yeah.
You live in Florida. Hit me with it. Hit me if you want.
That doesn't happen. But after watching it, you look at all the surroundings. I see no wind. Like none of the other tree branches are moving at all. But this has like wind blowing below it.
String.
So
There's a palm floating.
it doesn't look like anything else is moving.
Right in the middle of the air.
Even if one were to suspend it with a wire, where would they attach it?
So there's water on the ground, and you can see reflections of the trees and the cars, but you don't see the reflection of this in any of them.
We get a full 360 view of the area. There's nothing near it. Is this another glitch in the Matrix? If you have a logical explanation for this strange sight, be sure to share it in the comments section.
Probably a story.
I think it's fake. I think there's more leaning towards it being fake. The lighting and the thing about having an actual like high quality cameras is I feel like this branch is the highest quality thing in this video as well.
Oh yeah.
I think it's fake. And it looks so unnatural.
Yeah.
It almost looked like a broom, which is why I guess they were talking like making a Harry Potter reference. Oh. I mean, I just don't believe it. I think it's completely done in post. Done well in post. It's been done
those
well
usually way too much to just float up like that too.
I genuinely don't believe it. And like I said, you could see some reflections in the water, and I was trying to keep an eye on them as they went around. And granted, the angle could just be bad, but based on some of the angles that we did see and how close some of the reflections were, I feel like I should have been able to see that palm floating, but I don't know. I mean, obviously we weren't there, but I think that was just very well done in post.
It was, yeah. 100% not real.
Reddit user QuimboSlice20 shared his experience when he visited his aunt in the Iowa countryside to spend the weekend after years away. Yeah. However, what was supposed to be a getaway offered more than just nostalgia.
I'm gonna steal their voices.
The attic is just open.
Jesus Christ.
You see, he used to visit his aunt all the time as a kid, but stopped as he grew older. Even then, he revealed that he would hear disembodied footsteps in the hallways, whispering within the wall, and the whole spooky shebang. The house is ancient, built around the 1860s, and has a history that's the stuff of whispered folklore. With that in mind, our guy goes to the house armed with something he didn't have all those years back. A phone with a camera. After waking up to voices echoing around his room at about 2:30 a.m, he immediately brings out his phone and hears a sound from behind her closet.
He immediately opens up his flip phone
and his
I feel like everybody has somebody.
Blanket
Everybody has somebody in their family that has like a creepy house.
Trembling like a leaf,
that you used to stay at when you were younger or something, right? Like whether it was like your grandparents' house or like some other relative, like their house is always creepy.
I did have an aunt's place I would stay at, and like I mentioned before, I thought I saw shadow people, which wasn't necessarily sleep paralysis because I was able to move my arms and move my body, and like I never stayed at my grandparents' house, but they would have had the real creepy place.
I feel like there was always one. Like everybody's always got one.
Did you have a creepy relative's house that you stayed at frequently?
For sure. Like, and it wasn't even like anything crazy about it. Like there wasn't any history behind it or anything, but it was just always that creepy, uneasy feeling. You know,
was that all that ever happened? Did you ever like think you saw something or heard something?
I was just always thinking you hear something.
Okay.
Like whether it's like movement or something like that. Yeah. But it's just like, you know, that
in my current house, I think I hear stuff.
Yeah, same. But yeah, that's always like there's always that one house that just seemed to like stand out more, you know, whether like the house was quieter or something, you know, where it stood out for you more. Just made it creepy.
Which is what happens next. Take a look.
Definitely not piped in.
Look at the fake candle.
The persistent, hair-raising knocks on the door make it seem like someone or something wants in. It's like a scene from a horror movie.
So creepy.
Only this time, it's all too real for our guy. Right after that, this happens.
I thought he said he was getting out of there.
Yeah, like what?
Did he get back in there?
Clearly. It's real knocking.
He hears the whispers of a child by his bedside, suggesting that whatever unholy presence was outside has now made its way in. At this point, he darts out of there and goes to spend what's left of the night in the car. While the guy appeared too shaken to his bones to investigate his encounters, the orbs that could be noticed flying around the video kinda added some credibility to his spooky backstory. But what do you think?
The
Real
dust
poltergeist
and
activity
bugs
or
floating around in the
paranormal
room.
Child who was possibly being pranked. You decide.
I feel like he really didn't need to go in on him that hard.
Yeah,
We're a paranoid man-child.
I mean, it's the piped-in whispering. That kind of sucked on its own. The knocking was definitely real, but it's like the order of events seems really bad because it's like, did he go out and spend his time in the car? Because the first time he seemed like he got up and left.
Yeah,
he didn't.
Like he was
and all the lights were on. He had the door to the hallway open, and the lights were on there. So I don't know. I feel like there was just a lot of effort on nothing for that one. So that's all I really got. You got any closing statements on that?
No.
Yeah, but I think that's gonna have to be it for us here for now, guys. We're gonna finish this one next time on Into the Macabre, unless it's the Shadow People episode. When that happens, we'll make sure to be announcing that in the Discord and on Twitter. So make sure you check us out there as well. If you have clips you'd like to submit, both either long form, short form, stories, what have you, definitely submit them in the Discord. It's discord.gg/serve. And I'll go over to the Into the Macabre channel, post those there. As usual, where will people be able to find this episode, West?
On YouTube.
And what's going to be with that?
All the links for all the videos that we watched, with timestamps correctly placed.
There'll be timestamps, all that stuff, source material, everything will be there. It's going to be a much more nicer, condensed version of the full show. It's nice and consumable that you can just watch and share.
Still a lot of talking, though.
Along with all the previous episodes of Into the Macabre, I promise you there's great stuff there. So for the YouTube audience, thanks so much for being there. And if you want to watch live, we're going to be live every other Wednesday starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. So the next time we are live should be August 21st. At 7 p.m. Eastern, unless something happens, in which case we'll be notifying via the Twitter and the YouTube, the Discord. So catch us there if you want. But that is
send us the clip.
Yeah, send us clips. We want your clips, and also if you have Skinwalker stories or Shadow People stories, post that as well, because that's going to help us with our individual story episodes that we're going to be doing in the near future, and hopefully by next time, but we'll see. We got so many things to close up on, and we hope to continue sharing all this stuff with you guys.
Yes.
Well, we appreciate you all being here and hanging with us. And we will see you all next time on more Into the Macabre. Have a good night, everybody.